Welcome to D6 Stories. I'm Josh, and I'm your DM tonight, and we're starting a brand new campaign.
Woo!
Super excited. At the end of the session, I'm going to reveal what the name of the campaign is, because it is a spoiler. And we're going to have a lot of fun today. We got a few new people around the table, and one returning.
Old and tired. No.
Yeah. So we'll start. We're going to introduce ourselves, and we're also going to introduce what we're playing, and say something about yourself. Like maybe give your a snippet of what your backstory is, and then we'll get into the game. Awesome. So Jeff, you're the most vocal here.
Yeah. So far, I'm Jeff. I used to sit there, and I'm really glad to not be sitting there anymore. It was really wonderful that Josh is ready to rock and roll as the DM, and I just get to play. It's been a long time since I got to play. I am playing Gideon. Gideon is a human bard. He has, his past is. We don't have to worry too much about that. You know, it's what's in the past is in the past. You know. And he's found that these abilities, these magical abilities he's found in music has really helped his career and given him a lot of freedom. So he just kind of goes wherever the next funnest thing is. That's kind of who he is. So he's a glamour bard for those who are really curious. Level 3.
We'll go over to Liz.
I'm Liz. I'm new to this whole screening process. Today I'm playing Abbott, and he is a life cleric who had a very average upbringing until an accident happened, and you just have to see the fallout from that. So, so I'm really excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Emily. My character is Dr. Penelope Trill. To her friends, she goes by Mississippi. Yes, I'm making a reference. You think I am. She is a tenured professor of archaeology, thrust into the spotlight recently due to some cool new discovery that's probably gonna be explored later in the plot. Or not.
It is a very cool discovery. Huge fan. Huge fan.
My name is Ryan, and I am going to be playing Felric, who is a Kensai monk, also gnomish. Something you probably don't see too often, but otherwise, my character raised in a monastery, to the point of just mastering the use of my weapons, and also just working on improving myself as a monk.
I'm Nate. I'm playing Elrondel, a high elf wizard, transmutation school, always top of his class. His plans are better because they're his.
Okay, so something to note about each and every one of these characters is they're either the expert or they're the top person in their field. Gideon is a rock star. Liz is a highly regarded priest. Obviously, you got the world-renowned archaeologist, leader of a group of monks, and the second most powerful wizard in the world.
So we're all the best at what we do.
You're all
except for me.
Except
He's
me.
the second best.
Well, he always plays second fiddle. So, now, you all have been summoned to the great city of Crastel. This is where King Hadrian rules over the nation, and each of you had received a sealed envelope with his wax seal on it. You had opened it up, and it was a summons to meet him and present in person that he had a request of you. So each of you arrive into this grand city. How do you do it? And I'm going to say boisterous one first.
Okay, yeah. So Gideon, because again, magic, like it's not a lot.
It's basically non-existent.
Okay.
So magic in this world, third level spellcaster is the second most potent spellcaster in
Okay,
the
yeah.
world. So magical items almost non-existent.
Assistant to the Archmage, is that what you are?
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, so the magic's not a thing. You have elves, you have dwarves, you have halflings in this world, but you don't have like magical beasts. There's no such thing as a dragon. Nobody knows what that is. There's maybe storybooks about it, right?
Beholders, like the mythos isn't even there.
Not even there.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Beholder, what is that?
Okay. Cool. All right. So Gideon. So because Gideon's kind of the rock star, kind of well known, right? Yeah, he wants to make a pretty awesome entrance, and so he's worked out a deal which he knows he's going to live to regret, but YOLO, in a big way. Just whatever sounds fun, and so he's worked out a deal that right outside of town, okay. He's worked out for there to be a catapult, okay, and he's getting inside of the catapult and he's being launched into town, hoping against hope that he told his friend the right time of when to show up to save him from dying. Okay, so what he does is he gets in the catapult, and the first thing that he does is he actually casts. He's able to. He's singing a song that's worked well for him in the past. To do some fun little things. And so he gets in the catapult, and the guy's like, okay, you paid me a lot of money to do this. You're going to die. He's like, no, it's going to be good, dude. He's like, I wash my hands of this. Yep. You know, like, here's the contract. You don't owe me anything, you know. And so he gets launched into the town, flying through the sky, right? And he starts singing one of his hits. You know, he amplifies his voice.
Yeah.
Right? And then he's got a cape on.
And through this cobblestone streets with the Tudor houses, there's the crowd that are walking. They see this at first, bird or something, but then they notice that it's a Gideon.
Yeah, sure.
Flying through there, and they're hushed.
In fact, I'm even going to say Gideon sent people in the day before and left these notes everywhere saying, at this point, watch the skies. And it has, on it had his symbol. He's got the symbol that he's known for.
Yep.
And so it had on this. People were like, wait, Gideon's coming? They're like, watch the skies? Like, what is this mystery? And people have been talking about it, you know, all day because they don't have YouTube and there's nothing else to do. Yep. So everyone's waiting, right? And sure enough, then they hear his voice. He starts singing one of his hits, right? And everyone knows it suddenly. They're like, how can we hear him? Like, he's so far away. And then he's wearing this cape and he catches it on fire. So he's flying through the eye and it's on fire, right? And then he just keeps sending out sparks all around him, right? And he's coming in or whatever. And then as he lands, as he's coming in for landing, does he slow down?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd prefer to wait an extra second or two to...
Just a moment. His pitch kind of gets a little louder as he's singing because he's like, what is he going to do this? Right? And then he pulls out this like sheet, so it's above his head, right? Yeah. And it's about to catch on fire, right? Yeah. But suddenly this mouth appears on the sheet and starts singing in harmony with him, right? As he comes down and lands and it catches on fire and he makes this huge bow right in the center of town. And he's like...
Okay. Nathan,
he's like...
Your entrance... I'm going to say the rest of you probably hate the fact that I asked him first. Nate, your entrance obviously took place before this.
It would have been the day before. It wouldn't have been... It's not one for the pomp and circumstance and all that.
Did you slip into town then?
Kind of slipped into town with his entourage. He, paid for the good inn and all that. The people that were coming in the next day. Or the people that were coming in to, leave his flyers and all that.
Okay. And so when he was coming to land, then you assisted him by basically letting him not die.
Yes.
Right.
Not the biggest fan of Gideon. I think he's a little overrated. So I waited an extra few seconds than the agreed upon time, so we got a bit closer to the ground before he slowed down.
And then you cast your feather fall. And he slows to the ground. Okay.
There'll be words
so
later.
you two
I
are
roll
you're
for it.
standing there. A catapult can't reach the castle, but can get pretty far into the center of town. So I'm guessing.
Oh, the
you're
band
probably
is
land-
there.
You probably land in the center square.
Yeah.
Where we have Elrendil.
Yep.
And the other three. Let's go to Emily.
Okay.
How did you enter the city?
Like a normal.
You're like a normal. You walked
Yeah.
in. You walked in the city
No,
gates.
I probably hired a carriage because I'm gonna meet the king, so this
Yep.
is kind of a big deal. But I don't like crowds.
No.
No, I don't. So I would hire a carriage and do the proper thing and go where I'm supposed to go and exit and walk into the castle or whatever it is
Okay.
that we are meeting.
So this grandiose thing is happening, and you're just like, nope, and you kind of just walk away and make your way up.
Just like sidestep everyone on like the. If there's a main staircase and he's
Yeah.
coming in the center, I'm just walking up by the railing.
Okay.
Just
And then we have Felric.
Alright. So, anyone that is able to have clear line of sight of the main gate
Mhm.
is going to see an elephant that is just kind of walking its way,
Oh, jealous.
going through, and
I think of an elephant.
it takes a little bit more to see that sitting on top of the elephant appears to be a gnome who is just sitting there, just all calm and serene, like he's meditating, and just has
So
colors.
the elephant is it being guided at all, or is it just kind of just knows the path to
It's
take?
just going on its path and just calmly going around. You see occasionally it kind of looks to see if there's, any trees that might have some fruit or something for it to grab on its way.
Mhm.
And my character is just sitting calm and meditating on top
so
of the elephant.
I have a question.
Okay.
Elephants are huge.
Yeah.
You are small.
Yeah.
How visible is the gnome? Like where on the elephant are you sitting?
Are you sitting at the head, or are
Are
you?
you
I would
sitting
be
where
sitting
like
on
a
the head.
saddle would be?
Just sitting on the head.
Okay, you're gonna.
Character's
fall.
left. Pretty dexterous.
Okay, and then we have Evan.
I'm coming in town just dressed in regular, plain, like civilian clothes, common clothes. I am with just a bunch of other like people just passing,
Passing through.
just on their way into the city.
Okay.
Pretty incognito.
So you two meet up at the city square, and shortly after
The concert.
you make your land, and you're
Because the band comes out of the crowd and we start putting
and
on
you
a
start
show.
putting on a show. A elephant man kind of comes up, and there's a little gnome, and then you two kind of you make your way around the crowds and
Yeah.
make your way up to the castle, kind of avoiding this kind of chaos that's kind of erupted with the fans and the show as he's performing, as he's walking up the street towards the
Oh yeah, there's like a parade. Because it's like following us.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, at the castle gates, you're stopped, and it's quickly made apparent that you are supposed to be there. You have a letter of invitation from the king. They are looking out for you. They just only stop you only because they didn't quite know, perhaps, who you were, especially you two there. But as soon as Gideon comes, they obviously know, and you've been here many times before as well. So it's commonplace for you to just kind of stroll in.
Just flash the badge and walk in.
Exactly. So you make your way.
Did they ask for my papers?
No.
Okay, good. Because I
Why
forgot
would
them.
they need to?
I forgot them.
They know who you are.
Okay, good. Good.
Anyways, you make your way through the courts into the grand hall. At the end of the grand hall, you see a throne sitting there, and you see King Hadrian sitting at his throne. He is a human. Off to his left, you see his elvish wife. Now, A little backstory. This country has not known war for some time. And that last war was ended by his marriage. His marriage is a symbolization of peace in the land. Off to his right, you see his son, a half-elf, the prince. Just behind him, you see Larian, his advisor. Along the sides, you also see a whole retinue of the court, various counts, barons, and other people of nobility. Many of which you know, and some of you know very well because they may be of your home. They may be family. They may be close friends. You are brought before the king, and the 5 of you stand in the center. And he says, I have brought you all together because I have a task I want you to do. Larian, the king's advisor, hands the king a sheet of paper, and he studies it for just a moment. The king is old, probably in his 60s. His son looks to be in his teens, but you know he's 25. Half-elves. They age funny. He squints, adjusts a pair of glasses, and then he proceeds to read. He says, Dr. Trill, it was you that discovered the artifacts, these crystals of immense power. It's been a trying time. You were paid by none other than Elrendel's master.
Excuse me.
Grand Arcanist Pagonist. Pagonist?
I just grabbed a Greek name that sounded important.
Okay. The Grand Arcanist. You spit.
Oh, well,
Lord.
just a little.
My character's staring daggers at you as soon as you do that.
The king.
Nice catch, by the way.
The king looks at you and he doesn't even address you. You can see that he has a little bit of like the stain in his eyes from your last encounter.
I'm waving at one of the gals over there.
One of the ladies of the court.
Oh yeah.
You better not be. Like,
At least it's not the princess.
She's blushing. I'll let him decide who it is. I don't care. She's just,
He says, the Grand Arcanist has gone into recluse. Has not been seen in the past year since the artifacts have been discovered. Each of you have a tie to the artifact. He says, so each of you have a bone to pick with Grand Pagans. He says, I should sentence each and every one of you to your deaths for your role in this. You, there, Felric, you're like, you had nothing to do with it. It was your land that they found the crystal. And this is what you're thinking to yourself. You had no fault of your own for it to have happened. It was underneath your monastery. That was it. You obviously, Gideon, remember the last time you were at the king.
Okay, he's not talking to me.
No.
Okay.
I'm just addressing you, and
Okay.
you guys can have a moment to reflect this, probably on the side to kind of fill in the others.
Sure.
Elrindel, you know that you helped study these artifacts and helped.
Directly under the Grand Arcanist.
Yep. And helped figure out what power they truly have, what power they truly contain, and the fact that these are potentially world-changing.
Most important discovery
Of ever.
ever. Yeah.
Ever.
lost. Like, I'm just looking around like, what? Okay, Asa?
You're not sure why you're here. No.
Don't know. I'm so lost.
He's lumping you in with the rest of everybody else, but this artifact he's talking about, really, you don't have any idea. Something about artifacts, and that's it. You just have no idea, but you're lumped in with everybody else.
Yep. Wrong place, wrong time.
Exactly. He says, I should have all your heads, but I will give you a chance to redeem yourself.
Even hers?
Dr. Charles?
Yeah.
Hers should roll first. She enabled the Grand Arcana.
I was paid.
You were paid?
As-
If you were paid to go kill a man in the street, would you? Because you almost killed an entire country. I will give you a chance to redeem yourself. Go to the Grand Arcana. Find out why and how he's using these artifacts. Destroy the artifacts if at all possible. And then return to me, and you can have your lives back.
So my character would know that they're powerful. You know,
So this is what you know about. These two know that they're gigantic crystals. Yeah. They're gigantic crystals. They're kind of bluish in color. They glow. They're obviously magical. When you had found them underneath his home, and you lost a lot of men when you found it because there were beasts of unknown
Type.
nature down there. Nature had nothing to do with whatever those things were. And down in the caves below his monastery. You had never heard of such monsters or anything. All you know is that you live in a holy land. This holy land allows you and your meditation to
Bring out the inner strength.
bring out the inner strength of yourself. You, there, you know that these crystals and whatnot, you've studied them. You know that you believe that they are pure mana.
Pure what?
Pure mana. In crystal form. And they have such untold potential that it's unbelievable. Unbelievable the things that you could potentially do with it. This country may have not seen war in 30 years, but think of the entire world. That may not have war. It's just one of these.
That's what he thinks?
That's what he thinks.
And how many of these crystals do you know?
You unearthed maybe half a dozen, but the last one you unearthed was the find that made you famous.
Yeah, the big one.
And that is the big one. It's the 3 times the height of a single man. Okay, you are a halfling, right? So
I understand.
6 times that.
6 times the height of you. Yeah. And maybe half as much around, and it was
So it's-
glowing so brightly you had to shade your eyes, and you were paid well to uncover that.
Gideon is also visibly. I'm guessing the king has something on him, and he actually believes that the king might kill him. You know, because
Do you remember the last time you were here?
no, I need you to remind me. I was
Okay.
like, he's referencing something that I feel like I should
The
know.
Grand Arcanist paid you to present these two.
Oh yeah. Okay, that was who it was to, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
And I was
Okay.
there for that too.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
so the
I'm
Grand
big-
Arcanist paid you to present them, but
Okay.
unbeknownst to everybody else, you ended up basically stealing the crystal and using its power.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been awesome. But I'm completely incredulous, visibly,
Yeah, and it's
and
also,
I'm looking directly at you, going like,
it's also worth noting
"This
that
guy, what?"
it's also worth noting that the last year since you've done that, your notoriety around the country has only skyrocketed.
Oh, yeah?
Because your music now can touch people in a way that it never could before.
This is crazy.
It's been just a wild ride for you, and only positive, only great.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm like mumbling.
so
I'm trying to find that line where he's like, because I don't know, Jeff doesn't know if me pushing back is literally going to mean my head is going to roll. So you let me know if I'm pushing too hard, because Gideon wouldn't.
you know that there is a line, and the king, never seen him so serious before. You may have been here, entertained a few times. This is the first time in probably 30 years that he has been this serious. The last time was most likely his wedding.
Last time he was angry?
Serious.
Oh, serious. Was that his wedding?
Like this serious. Well, he didn't want to marry her.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
But for peace. Right?
Right.
No way.
So, did my character know? So my character thinks this is like a tool more than a weapon.
Oh, absolutely.
So I feel like,
Endless possibilities.
and my guys, and I studied directly under
Yep.
the Grand Arcanist, so I'm a bit starstruck by, and a little bit offended that he would say that the Grand Arcanist produced a weapon out of such an amazing tool.
So the king didn't directly say what's happening because he doesn't know.
Okay.
You know that. Right? He knows that, or that's what he was
He
thinking?
said
That's what
the
he's
country
thinking.
almost
Okay.
was destroyed.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Thank you.
I feel like my character would, I would
Question that.
question that a bit because
Feel free to.
So,
At this point,
yeah.
he had just said the last thing, right? Which is the heads will roll with there to Dr. Trell. So you could speak out.
yeah, I addressed the king that those crystals were tools. How did they almost destroy a country? They were boundless tools for the betterment of everyone.
He says, the last time that I spoke with the Grand Arcanist, he was not in his right mind. And he said something to me, that this is the power to change the world. But when he said it, there was not good in his eyes. There was not good in his voice.
Just think of it as a promotion.
So
Promotion.
he turns to Abbott, and he says, "Abbott, you are here not because you have involvement with it, but because you are the true judge of a good character."
Visibly relieved. I'm like, I was like holding my breath.
He
and I'm
said,
like,
he says, it is his life and their lives that hold in your hands. You will judge the Grand Arcanist when time comes. The church will judge the Grand Arcanist.
much understanding.
So King Hagrid is being very stern right now.
Thank you.
Much understand. Much understand. Okay, so
That was on purpose for those. That was so good.
King Hadrian leans back in his chair. He takes the piece of paper and hands it back to his advisor. The queen on his left, can't remember which one I said, she looks down in grief as she can tell she mourns for what's going to happen to her. At this point, he says, if you have any words, you can say them. Whatever you say now, I will not have any repercussions. For I know that I am potentially sending you to your deaths. And if you fail me, your deaths are guaranteed. Each of you. Say what you will, get it out of you.
My character's gonna say he's wrong about the Grand Arcanist. He was probably just deep in thought. It wasn't maliciousness. Someone with that much power and that great. He's done wonderful things for the country.
He says, perhaps not for you to judge. It's for abbots to judge.
As soon as you're done,
Yeah.
Gideon will say, Gideon, Your Honor, like, he's wrong. He's wrong about it. You're right about that guy. So, good job. Kudos to you. He's nuts. He always has been. Okay? If he's just gone more because of this stuff, I understand. It is enticing, I must say. But I don't think I think you're crazy for taking this gift. He is right about it being a tool. You're crazy for passing up this opportunity. I think there's a lot of people that could be served in a mighty way. But, you know, I guess you're the guy who wears the crown. You have to deal with the fact that you might be letting a lot of people down.
He says, if this could become the ultimate weapon, this could ultimately destroy us all.
King, I know in your
Fall
hands.
in the wrong hands. Fall in the wrong hands. And we are all dead. And I am not sure that it's in the right hands now.
Are your hands not the right hands?
They may not be. I don't know how to deal with such magics. That's what I hire court wizards for.
Then Gideon goes into a string of maybe not blatantly false, but he's definitely laying on the cheese. He starts talking about how, you are so humble, and and all this, and all this. He's like, but it's just a little bit of he's still just putting in a couple last minute stings.
Okay. So we're pretty quiet from you three.
I asked the king, where are the crystals now? Because my land was perfectly fine until those were dug up.
He says, the Grand Arcanist, I believe, has them at his tower. His tower is just outside. You're well aware of this. Just outside the village of Harmon. Only a few miles away. I believe that they're housed there, where he likely studies them.
So to clarify, you want us to go and destroy the crystals and kill the Grand Arcanist?
Yes.
He's really gone that mad.
I believe so, yes.
Out of character, have I encountered this Grand Arcanist since he's been mad?
Let's roll a check. Let's just roll a luck check. So, yes.
Okay.
You've met the Grand Arcanist at a few functions years ago. He seemed, he's old.
Yeah.
He seemed very wise. He has lots of magics, but to be honest, he's like what, 5th level spellcaster, right? But to you, that's 20th level, right? He holds in his hands the most powerful magics that that the world has ever seen that's within him.
So I have.
And then on top of that, now he's got these. And you've met him, and you found him to be kind of an old and wise man, and very smart.
But I have seen him. But he is now more mad than he was when he hired me.
So you don't. When the king described him,
Yeah.
it's different than what you remember.
Okay. So I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I get the blame for this. I just did the digging. That's all I did.
So, Abbott, do you have anything to say? Or, Spellert?
I would like to kind of approach a little closer, just a little, like a smidge, and I'm gonna bow my head and say, "Mine Grace, ye appear to be mistaken. Although, me will accept this responsibility."
He shakes his head
Much thanks.
in an acceptance of what you said. And, there are many smirks amongst the court as you speak. You know that it's like it's a joke behind the scenes, how you speak.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, but he accepts.
I'll kind of go back into the office side.
I say the king, well, it would be best then that we get started so we can bring order back to the land and I can get back to my studying.
Did you come up with what you were thinking?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Nope. She's just overwhelmed by the fact that she's the center of attention right now.
Yeah. He
Gideon
says, "Be off.
"Oh,
We will have an armed escort for you to bring you to the tower.
Okay.
Hopefully, you will not be found wanting, and you will complete the task that is assigned."
are we walking?"
No,
Oh,
he's not. He's not going to be. No. So,
Not prisoners yet.
at this point, there's the royal guard kind of comes up and they kind of usher you out of the court. As soon as you leave, the court starts to erupt and conversation. You know that there's likely in the court there's players on all sides of what's happening, and you know, kind of maybe a little bit of gambling on your lives and that kind of thing. What courts do?
I leave the smell of a fart right in front of the king's face as we leave.
You weren't that close to him, but yes,
As we'd be walking out,
you walked it through.
as
I can do that now.
Carpet dust.
Yep. Just as he says, "Be gone," and we like kind of turn. I just kind of, and he's just kind of like,
Yeah. He suspects.
as we're walking out, you say they.
I mean, really, because if magic isn't a thing, right?
Yeah.
He might think someone around him farted, right?
As we're walking out and the court erupts, can I make an attempt to try and see if I can hear any bits of information that.
Yeah. Make a perception check.
Okay. 10.
Yeah. You just hear the murmurings as you are basically escorted out by the two knights.
Are any of my colleagues in the crowd?
Yeah. You see some people from rival universities. You see a couple fellow deans. Yeah, they're definitely there, and some of them look concerned.
Okay.
Your rivals are
Yeah.
overjoyed. But yeah, you definitely see a few of your colleagues in amongst the court.
Is there? I'm not a prisoner, am I?
No.
No. Okay.
You're the one person who's probably not going to die.
The one
At least
person.
by the king.
Plot armor.
I
That was
The
good.
game did not exclude you from that. There was no exclusion.
Gideon's
would.
first thing out of the gate was gonna be like, he didn't send anyone to make sure we destroyed this stuff. Let's just use it, man. Oh, now we have. Now we
So you're in
got.
the courtyard.
Gosh dang it.
You're in the courtyard. You have two guards with you.
I
do you
interrupted.
do anything?
There was more I wanted to do.
Oh, before you.
Yeah. If there's like a minister of like if there's like a minister of health, I need to speak to them and get supplies for my city for the hospitals.
Okay. So you only have just a moment, and you see him. He's in the crowd. You walk up, and you basically you have like 15 seconds of conversation before the palace guards come up. The royal guards come up. You have to get to it. So just roll a persuasion.
It is a 21.
Oh, yeah. In those 15 seconds, you're like, need medicine, my city, get fast, and then,
Please.
and please, and he's like, I'll look into it, yes. And then you get kind of like a hand on your shoulder and says, we have to go, and starts kind of firmly pressing you away from the Minister of Health. So you're out in the courtyard. There's 5 of you. There's the 2 guards that kind of like that are escorting you. You see that there are other few guards in the courtyard as well, kind of just patrolling around. Off from the courtyard is you can see where there's knights that are training and whatnot, and you can see off. Like way off, that there are carriages, that black carriages with gold filigree all over them. 2 of them loaded up with giant Clydesdale horses that are being prepared for you. So anyways, this is your first chance to really kind of speak to each other. Most of you kind of know each other, but not really. You never really fell in the same circles, right? The people that know each other the most is probably the wizard and the archaeologist. Everybody else kind of knows who each other is, just because you're all powerful people.
Mississippi is not engaging with him at all.
Oh, funny, because he was about to come up and tell you got the raw end of the deal. And he's like, it sucks that you're with us. I deserve this.
This
Like,
is your fault.
oh yeah, no, I know. It'll work out. It'll work out, man. It always does.
So, just out of character to clarify, was it the king or the Grand Arcanist that hired her to dig the crystals?
The Grand
The Grand
Arcanist.
Arcanist.
The Grand Arcanist was the one who did everything
Yeah,
about the crystal.
yeah. He agrees with you, and then he's like, wait, nah, it's his boss's fault. He's the crazy one. Listen, he's like, he pulls out. Oh wait, no, I said I didn't have it. He points at something that someone. He's like, I can't read that now because of that guy. Right? He's nuts. Okay, like,
Are you sure you could read before?
yeah. No, I could. It was fine. Yes, I could read. Okay, but now I know you see things, right? Everything's all those words. Like he pulls out something. He's like, all these words literally are spinning right now, and like shuffling around. That's what I see. He's not him. His boss is a jerk. Okay. I took advantage of a moment. Yes. Right. But the king's not himself. Man, it's not my fault. And now he's mad. He was like really nice to you, and now he's mad.
All right.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you, but
Yeah.
also you make the loudest noise.
So,
That's very true.
as you guys are kind of making your way forward, there's a man that kind of comes up to you, black hair, kind of dressed in regal clothing, but not enough to signify that he's a man of the court. And he comes up and he has a clipboard quill. And okay, so the first things first, we're going to talk about your what you have with you. The only person that is truly equipped for adventuring is the archaeologist. All the rest of you shouldn't really have any of your adventuring gear. You were not planning on doing this. You had no idea that was going on. So you basically have the basic necessities, and then that's it. Right? And truly, you're not going on an adventure either. You're just going to go kill somebody. Right?
This is not what I signed up for.
So he introduces himself as the quartermaster. And he says, if there is anything that you need, the king shall see that you have it. He says, if you need the sharpest blade in the realm to kill Arcanus, I will find you the sharpest blade in the realm, as long as it's within the next half hour. He says, so is there anything that you need?
My character requests medicinal herbs in preparation for the headache that one will inevitably incur.
He scribbles medicinal herbs. Your headache brought on by the annoying bard.
He
You
gets
can't read that, so.
I was gonna say that's what he writes. Oh. It's like he says that out loud. He gets farted in the face too.
Scribbles and he's like,
Healing poultices, because we're probably going to need it.
He can get you some herbalism kits.
Okay. Like a first aid kit.
Like an herbalism kit.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. All right. So I have everything that I start with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Anything else?
I need some honeycomb.
He says, I shall have my men go to the market at once.
And I also need. I just used up the last bit of my jade dust.
An expensive taste, but very well.
Yeah.
I just want a bedroll.
You get a bedroll? He says, yes, I will get one that
Yeah.
does not smell like my men.
That's a good idea. Like,
Does
yeah.
not smell like women?
My men is what he said.
Oh.
Just how about 5 of those?
If they smell like women, they're not the kind of women you want.
Oh wait. We don't know that we're going on an adventure.
No.
You're just doing that because you're smart. Gideon wouldn't take that, so never mind.
Yeah.
I do ask
Anything else?
if he does have an herbalism kit or a calligraphy supplies.
Yeah, he very well. I will get you this one.
How far is it to the tower?
Like 30 miles.
Okay, so we cover it in a day.
Yep.
Okay. Will meals be handled for us, or are we going to be fed?
You will be
by
fed.
ourselves? We will be fed. Okay.
You will be fed.
That's checked off the list.
Yep.
Great.
My character would request shackles or something along those lines because I'm still not convinced of the Grand Arcanist's guilt. I think we're just going to.
He says, very well, but I have spoken with the king. If you are to get shackles, they are to go up to the abbot.
Fine. In my dealings with the crystal and from discussions with the people who have been studying the crystal, on a scale from 1 to 10, how bad of an idea would it be to blow up the crystal? Because I want explosives.
It's an incredible source of energy. Would I know that trying to release that much energy at once would kaboom?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
so
highly
no
recommend
explosives.
against it.
Then I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't bring it up if we've already had that. Yeah.
This crystal must be diffused, and experts
Yep.
above and beyond your pay grade must handle this.
Or you can just put your hand on it and awesome stuff happens.
Okay.
I do ask if you can give me an explorer's pack as well.
Explorer's back. Absolutely.
I asked for a Snickersnee.
So the cleric of life. Do you want plate armor? Because that's like your best suits of armor. You can get that at this point.
Shoot.
Yeah.
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 Can we say I was throwing studded leather because this kind of is stage stuff?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Because that's kind of what he'd wear anyway.
Yeah, I'll take plate.
Yeah, because they will go and get you one of the sets of the Knight's Plate. It has a big symbol of the rose on it, which is the symbol of the knights here.
Okay.
Studded leather.
So yep. Okay. If you think of anything in the next couple minutes, let me know. I'll just say yes, and then we're gonna move on. You guys go and you climb up into these carriages. The carriages are very lush inside. You can see that there is the carriages fit for comfortably, and then in the center there's a little table with a tea set out, and the tea looks like it has been freshly brewed, and you guys are going to be enjoying your ride. Along with this, when you leave the city, you are expected, you're going to make a hard day's ride. You will be getting there this evening. It was morning when you left. They are making a hard ride. They're going to go straight there, and you're doing it now. You're doing it today. Along with that, you can peek your head out of the carriage as you do leave the city, and you see that you have a retinue with you. There are 5 knights on horses riding in front of the carriage, and probably 15 behind the carriage. Carriages. There's 2 carriages. You guys can split yourselves up in the carriages however you see fit. You'll be spending the next few hours with those people.
I'm probably gonna be
Not with the bard.
probably gonna be with him so we can brainstorm ideas of how to get this done.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. I don't care. I'm not looking to stay with anyone. I just picked the one the closest one to me, and I just.
Yeah. You just hop in right away. Those 2 see that. Instantly go to the other carriage.
I'll hail a different cab.
Yep.
I head over to the one that the bard's in.
Okay.
Good. I have a lot of questions.
And the clerk?
Can I opt to ride in front, with the
You want to ride on the carriage?
on the carriage? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you hop onto the passenger seat next to the driver, and
I asked if he minds.
then you're on. It is a beautiful night, by the way, as you are getting through to Harmony. You guys have spent the last probably 8 hours with each other with this hard ride. You get to know each other, the 2 that you're with, the pairs, basically. Enough.
Is she sitting in front of theirs or ours?
Let's roll, and odds or evens. You are odds. No. Sitting in front of theirs. That means you are in the rear carriage, and they're in the front carriage. So, anyways,
You get music.
if you guys want to talk about, kind of share any details about your characters during the ride, you may do so. We already know quite a bit about Gideon, so.
Okay, no, again, remember we kind of talked about this before. You think you know a lot about him because if there's a rumor to be had about Gideon, it's out there somewhere. So, yeah. But actually, you might not give a crap. So, yeah.
Okay. Is there any? You 2 talk about plans.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you guys talk about this, and something that you both know, you have to handle these things with gloves. Do not touch. The few men that have touched these things with their bare hands have come away with various weird ailments.
Yeah, you're gonna have to help me understand then what did I do? Because I'm curious. Is that my ailment?
Maybe.
Okay. It has to be Faye, whatever it is.
You probably sat in silence the whole time as Gideon spoke. I'm guessing that's the case.
Well, I had a lot of questions like I wanted to know about this elephant. Right? Where do you get your hands on one of those? How do you train one to ride it?
And I let him know, oh, I just met up with him about halfway there. Decided I would.
You made friends with an elephant
Why not?
halfway?
That's completely. Like, he's such a tranquil person. That's completely not outrageous for him.
I think it's awesome. Yeah.
One thing I would have said is, as soon as I got into the carriage and was standing next to him, I'd be like, I would have imagined you would have been taller.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like all you
You
say
guys
to
are
me.
conducting plans
Polite answers to my random questions.
Brainstorming.
and brainstorming. To be honest, you're stumped. You don't know how to really truly destroy these things. Like, if you smash it with a hammer,
It might explode.
it still might explode, but then you're only just got smaller pieces of it, right? You've studied the smaller versions of this, and you had no idea that there was a big one.
Do the smaller versions have like a lower effectiveness than the larger one?
He says yes.
So is it safe to assume, maybe, potentially, okay, maybe not assume, but potentially, hypothetically, that's the word I'm looking for, by getting the big one into smaller pieces, they'd be easier to manage?
Or we just multiplied our problems.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So you rode south from the castle, and you make your way to Harmony. Harmony is a small village.
Amish community?
Huh?
Amish community?
Has probably about 5,000 people that live in it. Not very big, but big enough to have many amenities. It is there in Harmony where the carriages stop, and you know that's because you have to walk up the hill through steps to get to the tower itself. And you can't really take carriages up there. At this point, the knights are they're all kind of going in the tavern. They're off shift for the night, basically, right?
I start heading with them to the tavern. Just
And you guys are in Harmony. You know, just to the west, there's a small forest trail, many steps kind of leading up, probably about a half mile to the tower. You've made that trek many, many, many times. It's a little rough the first time you do it, but after you kind of get used to the walk, it's no big deal. So yeah, you're in Harmony, small village, but big enough to have the the amenities you need. Probably the smallest village you've ever played, because you don't play anything less than that anymore.
It typically hurts the town in the long run.
Yeah.
Things get destroyed, you know. It's just not viable. There's too many people who travel to come.
Burning Man.
So you've probably never been this far southwest before.
Just kind of looking around.
And then you probably live and breathe these small villages. Like,
Yeah.
This is homely to you.
So, well, before we just get too far away from when the carriage stops, I want to take a look at that plate armor. Realize that I have a 10
In strength?
in strength, and I'm gonna take that armor. I'm gonna drag it to the nearest shop and trade it for some leather.
Okay. You walk into the armor, and you have this fancy plate, and he's like, "You want to just take leather for this?" Ka-ching.
Can he tell that I'm like, so
Yeah.
heavy?
He gladly helps you bring it in. Gives you the best, finest suit of leather armor, tinted green. It's meant to be a hunter's leather armor. You know, kind of a rangery, basically.
Multi-class.
Yeah. Yeah. At that point, you can see Gideon just like, I'm no longer gonna worry about this. I'm gonna go drink in that tavern.
I just need to refill my flask. Do you drink?
I drink some.
Okay, RT was Irish.
You
I just need
mentioned
a refill.
Get other supplies.
Yeah.
Just stuff off of the adventuring
Mhm.
your table. We're good.
Yep.
What about poison?
Yeah, you
I
can
want a
get,
poison that knocks someone unconscious. And
yeah,
like at least 4 doses of it.
yes.
Okay.
You have 4 doses of a sleep-inducing poison.
I haven't been that bad, have I? I mean, goodness.
No, she's planning on Romeo and Juliet.
So low.
All right.
Is it contact, injury, inhaled? I just need to know how to administer it.
Ingested.
Ingest? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fine. And a hand crossbow.
All right.
Great.
So the moon has come out. The sun has waned. It's now gone. You are now ready to make your way up to the tower. You know this track very well, so likely you are in
You are
front.
blindfolded.
Yes. As you're walking up, you're like, watch out for that step, it's loose. Right? Actually, because there are steps over there, but if we go take this little deer path around, it's easier.
Does anyone have a light source? I can't.
Just keep up.
It's moonlight, so
Dim?
it's like bright. It's bright moonlight, so
Okay.
you have some difficulty seeing, but he knows the way so well. It's almost like you don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just.
As long as he's visible, I'd just be following him.
You get to the tower,
I'm
and
playing my bagpipes. I'm kidding. I'm not bagpipes. I'm kidding. That was literally for you. Just
So
to
the-
get a reaction.
so for those that
At least you didn't say what you do.
for those that play, it's a very classic Wizards. Right? It's spire and shape. It's got 5 or so floors, and an obvious that top floor is his floor. You know that you had a room on floor 3, but it's been a while since you've been there. If he's taken on a new apprentice since then, it wouldn't be yours anymore. If he hasn't, then it's still yours. You don't know if he's taken on a new apprentice or not, since you left, got your own tower.
Originally only 4 floors.
Only 4 floors.
So you make your way up. You don't even bother
Bother
knocking.
knocking, just
Just go in.
honey, I'm home.
Yep.
As we're about to go in, though, I'm just be like, so who gets to kill him?
Is that a conversation you want right outside the door?
No, I would have done that as we're walking up
Okay.
towards the
Yeah,
tower.
as you.
Because I'm just like, so do we have a plan here? Who gets to kill him?
We're not killing him. We're getting to the bottom of this.
I thought you said to kill him.
The king did say kill him. I mean, it's very good.
Well, that's fine. You say that,
Yeah.
and I look right at her. I thought didn't the king said to kill him, right?
Judge.
Judge. Oh yeah, you get to kill him.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't agree to that.
So,
But the judge did say to kill him.
the king.
The king did say to judge him by killing him.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. I mean, she basically holds right to not kill him. In the
Yeah,
end.
she heard judge.
Yeah. So
As
in
a louder
in
part.
her eyes, it's more like
He.
Sorry.
Abbott's a he.
So Abbott's role in this is more to stop it if he's capable type of thing.
All right.
That's what he believes, right? Is what I would.
Hey, I bet.
Only as a last resort.
You know it's coming.
All right. So you know the way up. You kind of find those circular stairs. You make your way up. You don't even have to view the other levels. You
Am I just? Do I notice anything
on
different?
floor 3, you probably peek your head in to the bedroom, and you notice it's untouched.
Oh, he misses you.
Still favorite.
And you make your way up to the top floor of the tower. The top floor of the tower has stained glass windows. 4 on each of the cardinal, 4 totally, 1 on each of the cardinal directions. That lets in just a dim moonlight over this place. It's lit magically, right? Just enough, you know. It was hard, and it took Grand Arcanist many years to get these permanent lights set up. Very tough magic. Very tough.
Top of the line.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you make your way.
I ask him, are those the crystals?
You make your way up to the. So this is you, right? You're leading. This is you. Okay. Yeah, we'll just say just like that. Awesome. Okay.
Are you always you're consistently visibly disdainful towards me?
As
Right?
you walk.
I'm unhappy to be here right now.
Just in general.
This is not what I signed up for.
Okay.
This is not my job.
Can I insight you to see if I can tell whether it's me or
Go for it.
is that okay, DM? I don't want to roll unless you tell me it's okay.
Just
Or
hurry
you
up.
can just
Hurry
tell
up
me
and roll.
what I see. Okay.
Do I roll anything to contest it?
Are you attempting to hide it?
Well,
I.
Well, maybe you're attempting to hide it.
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You can explain your feelings towards them.
First roll. Nat 20.
I
Holy Nat, you're dead.
am genuinely unhappy to be here. I'm disgruntled. I didn't want to have to put up with you, but that's not most of my concerns right now. I have to kill a person.
But I can tell that I'm not helping.
You're not
Kinda like
helping,
a catalyst.
but it's
Yeah.
kind of like.
Yeah.
And then there's this guy.
Okay. Well, because if I see that, I'm actually gonna back off.
You're the cherry on top.
Yeah, I'm gonna back off of you, really, because I don't actually want to get under your skin.
Okay.
So,
That's why I asked.
Elrindel.
Yep.
You walk into basically the workshop. It is brightly lit and has a odd blue kind of tint to the light.
Okay.
As you turn the corner, you see what is this normal workshop, tables set up around, a couple bookshelves, various apparatuses around. Only you know the true purpose of these apparatuses. Everybody else is they kind of come in like, do you need this weird hook saw for? But in the center of the room, you see this gigantic crystal floating in the air that's being held down by chains into gigantic stone slabs.
Three.
Yeah. I didn't say a number.
You said two.
Yeah.
Did I?
You
Yeah.
did.
Whatever.
Okay.
And this is a crystal light. I haven't seen the big one before, right?
Yeah, you have not seen the big one. On the table, you see several small ones.
Okay.
Next to you.
Do I see other notepad? Is there like a notepad on a desk? You see, you mentioned all these
What
bookshelves.
would you
and
need a
stuff?
notepad for? You can't read.
For my inspiration. I just walked into a wizard's chamber.
Yes.
I've been waiting for that.
Yes, there's a notepad.
All
Here's
right.
your inspiration there, sir.
All right. Thank you. I'm waiting for that. It's my only good one. I promise you, I'm not getting the next one.
Okay. Just behind the crystal, inciting some arcane invocation of sorts. You recognize some of the words. It's trying to summon some sort of power from it.
Okay.
You see the Grand Arcanist.
You guys got really cool minis. Look at those.
So, the Grand Arcanist, he's waving his staff in the air. You can see, this is very odd, you can see the magic kind of flowing through the air as he's got his staff. He's reciting these arcane invocations. You filter into the room. He doesn't pay you any mind as you come in.
He doesn't even look at us?
He is entranced.
Really?
in his magical spell. At least that's what you believe.
Yeah.
So, you come into the room. Do you?
I'd probably be over to the right a little more, getting a good view of this guy.
Do you
Close enough.
say anything? Do any of you say anything? You see this grand sight, this gigantic crystal you've only seen once before as you took it out of that cave below his home. It floats there ominously, only hung down by taut chains.
I think I'd address him, and I don't know if on a first name basis or I just call him Grand Arcanist.
Perhaps you say something along the lines of Master.
Yeah. And yeah, I just am.
I'm gonna kind of fan out a little bit though. Like Gideon's not normally interested in a fight, but he's
Yeah.
But like we're here to kind of take control of the situation.
Mhm.
So like I'm kind of like he's gonna kind of start. Well, actually, he's gonna go towards whatever looks the most important. And he's
Those
gonna,
crystals are right next to you.
and he's gonna start getting uncomfortably close to him just because he's hoping
Yeah.
to.
Gigantic crystals. Some of them 2 feet in length.
He pulls out.
Your men pulled all of these.
He pulls out the dagger,
Yeah.
and he's looking at the Grand Incarnate. He's, but I'm gonna let
All right.
Yeah.
But that's all happening
I think-
while the rest of you are kind of filtering into the room.
I think I. So he doesn't look normal to my character, right? Like I can tell that.
Well, he's entranced in this spell, and that
Okay.
that can be normal,
Okay.
right? It's very hard creating these magical everythings that you do. It's a very, very tough work, and you have to be utterly focused, utterly tunnel visioned into what you are doing.
Based on previous experiences, would my character know if it's good or bad to interrupt him while he's doing this?
Roll an arcane check. It all depends on where he is in the spell.
That's not good. 11?
You know that there can be drastic effects to interrupt a spell. However, you don't know if this is one of those moments or not.
Okay. I think I would cautiously approach and address him kind of somewhat meekly, kind of, because I still don't know if it's something I should really be interrupting. I definitely think I'd be trying to approach him because it's. I'm still not.
He's still waving his staff, and you get closer.
Yeah.
I would probably continue to move around to the right, keep a clear line of sight on this guy, and sneakily load my hand crossbow.
Okay.
Ooh, I'd like to move a little bit closer towards the wizard.
I'm also really curious. I'm watching her. Like I'm just glancing at the archmage, and I'm looking at her. Like
Him.
I am so sorry,
Scratch my pronouns.
Abbott.
Okay.
Sorry, Abbott.
It's okay.
I'm looking at Abbott.
He's completely entranced in the spell that he is doing.
I think I'd try to address him again, kind of trying to politely shift him out of this.
So, as you are going along, and he's doing his spell, and you're like, Master. He stumbles on one of his words, and his tip of his staff, ting, touches the crystal,
Oh, yikes.
and you can see a crack form.
He can, or we all can. I'm kind of on the other side. Never mind. I can't see nothing.
Yeah, no, the crystal is somewhat transparent, so you can see.
Oh, I can?
a little bit.
Okay. I'm getting ready to actually.
We all heard the ting.
The ting. Everybody heard the ting.
I'm getting ready.
Yeah.
To put a cloth
Anyway.
around one of the crystals.
He says, "You fool! How could you interrupt me in during such a vital moment in my spell? You have doomed us all to death."
Yeah, we were kind of already sentenced to death.
I rolled his Arcana check to sustain his spell. And my first roll of the campaign is a 1.
I somehow blame you.
Oh my gosh.
No joke, right here. And so a crack forms in the crystal. And he visibly angry, and he's distraught. And he turns to you, and for the first time, he actually kind of notices, oh, it's you.
Yes.
Right? You get a look of shock. And then he looks around the room, and he sees everybody else. And he says,
Right.
"Why are you here? Why are all of you together?"
You've doomed us all!
King's orders, would you believe it?
The king was concerned with your.
He sighs.
Yeah.
And as you're talking, the crack continues to grow.
You gonna do anything about that?
He says, "I can't. It's in motion. There is nothing I can do."
Gideon's gonna throw a cloth over the top of one of those crystals.
Do a sleight of hand.
Okay. I don't think I'm even trying to hide it. I don't think I care at this point. Because I'm literally gonna throw, grab, and get out of the room.
Okay.
Like I'm just gonna grab it because I'm like, okay,
All right.
I'm gonna start heading out because I'm like,
Yeah. So you do that.
Okay.
You grab one of the crystals. Football size one.
whichever
The football
one
size. We'll say it football
looks-
because it's
whichever one looks coolest.
Carryable.
It's carryable.
Whichever one looks closest to the one that I already.
Oh, so like one like this size.
Okay. Whichever one is
Nice
closest to the
size
one I already
detail.
touched.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking for same color of hue, that kind of thing. One I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind.
So-
okay. Yeah.
So it's one about this size.
He's like, well, because as he's exiting, he's like, hey, maybe we should finish our talk away from the broken big giant crystal that's spinning in the air, right? Anyone else? Like, and I'm saying that as I'm leaving, saying I'm just keeping this one safe.
Yeah. So
It doesn't look good.
as you turn the corner, you hear some chink, 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 and you guys can hear this noise as well. It's coming from the hallway, but for you, it's coming directly in front of you.
Okay.
You can see that the stained glass window it comes to form into a humanoid figure, and it steps down in front of you.
Huh. That's new.
That's really cool. Okay.
So they don't see this.
No.
Okay. So he turns around and goes back in and he's like, guys, there's something out there.
Conversation was happening while he was turning the corner.
I
so-
apologize. I apologize.
Yeah, so we have basically a round.
I'm like this.
Of, of what's going on here. So yeah, so the crack continues to grow. He is alarmed. He's shocked to see all of you, and you said, "Are you going to do anything about that?" He said, "No, I can't do anything about it. Our fates are sealed."
Can I insight him? I'm guessing he believes what he's saying, but
Yeah, rolling.
Okay. Net 20?
Double ones?
I just got a 1 again.
Nah.
This green D20 is the best.
I like that die.
Normally it's the opposite. I'm like, you guys are dead because of this thing. All right. He has never been so honest in his life.
Well, shoot. Okay.
I ask him, what exactly is going to happen when that thing finishes doing what it's doing?
He says, "I do not know. All I know is that we will not survive. However, yes. And that's when you turn the corner and you're freaked out.
Okay, can I actually go backwards?
Yeah.
Like, so the last time he had one of these crystals in his hands,
Yeah.
and he touched it,
Yeah.
things were awesome.
Okay.
Right?
What
happened to me when I touched it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The moment I touched it, what happened to me?
You're a bard now. You weren't a bard before.
So like suddenly I felt a surge of power, and suddenly there was things I could do. I didn't know exactly.
Yeah.
Over time I figured it out.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
well, shoot, he sees that thing, and he panics,
Mhm.
and he touches the crystal.
Okay.
He's like,
All right.
he just
He's holding it. He's holding
Oh.
it wrapped in cloth.
Max on
and
this.
you're like,
This is not good for you.
That's okay.
Take emotion.
I'm just doing what he would do. YOLO, man. I'm just telling you.
He had a good run.
Yeah, get him.
All right.
Good run.
So you take 12 force damage.
Okay.
And I'll just tell you this right now. All your attacks that all your weapon attacks are considered magical
Okay.
and have +1 to hit and damage.
That sucks. I'm never using weapons though.
And all your spells have an increased die.
like it goes up
Yeah.
from a D8 to a D10,
No.
or it's
Like-
1D8 to 2D8.
Yeah.
An additional.
So I feel ouch,
Yeah.
but I also feel power.
Exactly. It's coursing through your very being.
Okay.
So that's what you're doing instead.
That's what I do. Yeah.
This thing comes up to you. It's
Gideon's
not,
going Super Saiyan.
this thing is moving up to you and kind of barring you from leaving.
Bring it on.
They're not moving up to you super aggressive.
Oh, it's just getting in front of me.
They're just getting in front. Around this corner here, you see this stained glass creature stumble through the doorway. He says, the Grand Arcana says, "Yes, I can be its vessel."
What?
And then at that point, he begins to fuel the arcane energy from the crystal into himself. You can visibly see the magic strain from the crystal into him. The crystal begins to crack and fissure even more.
Have I seen these stained glass golems before, or are they new?
Those are brand new.
Okay.
You've known of the stained glass windows. Those have been there for ages. When the tower was built hundreds of years ago.
Okay.
They
They
never
done this.
mentioned, never anything like that.
This was not in the manual.
No, not at all.
Wow. I could have died.
I'll come over to help you up.
Well, I mean, none of you see me, right?
Yeah.
None of you
Oh,
know
I
this is
thought you were
happening
the-
to me.
Oh, I
How much
thought you
damage
were-
did you take?
12, you said.
How many hit points do you have?
21.
Mhm.
Cheapers.
That was bad.
What was the maximum roll? All right.
Are we like an initiative or like?
Not yet, because you guys haven't made any hostile actions yet.
So, this creature appears to be made of glass.
Stained glass, yes.
Stained glass that was in one of the cardinal directions. Okay, so we look at the other two windows. Do they look like they're gonna
You can't see them from here because you're in an interior room.
Okay, it's fine.
I'm gonna healing word myself.
I'm gonna turn towards Abbott and say, any idea on what judgment you're coming up with on what to do here?
Uncertain.
If
I'm
he's
Roll an Arcana check.
Me? Okay. Does it say I'm either trying to figure out what he's doing, or I'm going to be frantically scrambling for notes? That one. So, 6?
You have no idea what he's doing. You just know, all you know is that much magical energy flowing into a person can't be there. That's it. That's just kind of common
maybe
sense.
we won't have to kill him.
Anyways, as he's doing this, you can see that he's got his staff, and the energy is following the staff down into his hands, and his hair begins to grow and grow.
Is he getting old?
And you wouldn't say old. In fact, you see a little bit that he's getting a little refreshed, a little vibrant. In fact, some of his wrinkles seem to go away. Yes, his fingernails are probably a foot long at this point, right? His hair, his beard has gone down to below his knees. His hair has gone down and touching the floor in the back. But him himself is aging into beauty, aging into youth. He continues to do this.
I would like to cast
Cracks on the crystals. Continue.
Whole Person on him.
You cast whole person.
Yes. He's gonna need to make a Wisdom save throw.
What is your DC?
It is 12.
Can I just say though, look at these awesome minis that he put in front of us.
Yeah.
Good grief,
They look really cool.
those are so rad.
All right.
I don't even know what those are.
You got a 16. He passes his saving throw. You, very obvious, he does not freeze in his tracks. In fact, he says, "You cannot stop me. You cannot stop this. I am going to become all that is God."
I'm gonna fire my night crossbow, aiming for his hand holding his staff.
And that's where we're going to take our break.
Great.
Because what we're going to do is we're going to come back from break and we're going to do this excellent encounter.
Great.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome. I was also gonna. So did everything that I did was that, or would I have kind of done one more thing? Because there's one more thing I wanted to do.
What do you want to do?
I just wanted to like back because it wasn't acting aggressive; it was just moving towards me.
Mhm.
I'm moving away from it,
Mhm.
and after feeling ouch again under his breath, he's been doing this
Mhm.
right. He speaks something, feels a little bit better.
Yep.
And then I just want to get back in the room, away from this thing.
Okay, we'll let that happen during the...
Okay.
Okay, everybody take breaks. You guys can reposition yourself. And we're back. And we're back with the best part of the game. That's called rolling for initiative. Okay, so I'm just going to explain a little bit about how we're using the rolling for initiative. We're basically stealing the initiative rules from Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which is you roll what you were doing at the time, and that's your initiative. That depowers Dex, and also encourages you to, when at the start of combat, be careful what you were actually doing. So, for example, you there, Nate, are trying to determine what he's doing. So you are rolling Arcana for your initiative.
Okay.
You were healing yourself.
I was backing up into the
You're backing up into the room.
Yeah, I was like
Stealthy.
I was carefully moving. I didn't know if this thing was going to hit me. You said it wasn't aggressive.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Okay, roll an insight.
Okay.
What were you doing?
Hand crossbow.
You hand crossbow. So you're just gonna roll an acrobatics.
Okay.
That is your initiative. And you were
Casting a spell.
you're casting a spell. Roll a religion then for yours. And
I was asking him what was going to happen when Crystal cracked.
then roll a persuasion for yours. Okay. So we're gonna start from Emily.
23. It's a nat 20.
Liz.
I rolled an 18 plus. 21.
Yeah.
7 plus 4, 11.
8.
10.
Pels.
I got an actual 20, but my charisma is -1, so 19.
Nice. All right. So I also rolled a 23 because he rolled his Arcana for his initiative because that's what he was doing. But it makes sense, I think, that your action would go first.
I've had it ready.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with Emily's turn, and then we're gonna move to Dan's.
So roll to hit is a 15.
He casts a spell with a single word, and Nate recognizes this word. It's simply just the word shield in the language of the arcane. And your bolt glances off that magical shield. You can faintly see the outline of it when it shimmers off the shield.
Okay.
Anything else?
So as an inquisitive rogue, I can do the bonus action, insight versus his deception,
Okay.
to use my sneak attack against it.
Yep.
So I'd like to do that. Or should I use the one we did earlier?
No, that's fine. Is it in addition? Like,
It's a bonus action.
it's a bonus action. Okay.
Yeah.
Versus his deception.
Versus his deception.
I got a 20.
Yeah, no, it fails.
Okay.
No, I had it.
He is too aware of what's going on. All right. So it is the Grand Arcanist's turn with initiative 20. With one hand, he motions towards the we're gonna call it stained glass golem. Right? He motions towards that and he points towards the party. And with his other hand, which he carries the staff, he casts a spell.
No.
Yeah?
All right, so that is a flaming sphere that he
Okay.
casts upon you.
Yep.
So I think I gotta roll. I gotta look up the rules for that, but I think you have to make it save.
Yeah?
No.
Okay, so flaming sphere. As soon as my internet kicks in here. The internet kicks in here. All right. Dexterity saving throw.
No.
9.
He deals 6 fire damage, and that's gonna be his. That's gonna be his turn. Then we have Liz at 21.
I want to bless 3 of them. So let's do 1, 2.
You have to touch him to bless.
No, it's ranged.
That's right.
Up to 30 feet. So anyone within 30 feet,
Okay.
I can bless. I'm going to, whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw for the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add that number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw. So basically, it's an extra d4.
Who are you blessing?
1, 2, 3.
So it's a d4 once, correct?
I worked 1 time. Yep. I think.
Oh no.
No, it works
For a
on.
minute.
Yeah. For
It works on all attack rolls, all saving throws.
Oh, everything for a minute.
It's one of the most overpowered first level
It's
spells.
super good. Are you? Is that it? Are you gonna move or anything like that?
And then I'm going to move into a position to help Trill.
Like this?
Yes.
All right. Layer action. The crystal continues to crack, and when it does so, 2 things happen. Thing number 1, I'm going to roll my
Thing 1 and thing 2 jump out of it. That's phenomenal.
Okay, right here, a arcane mist starts to spew from the the crystal and envelops that square. Along with that, a shard of the crystal erupts out of it. And I would like anybody trained in Arcana? Is it just you? Are you trained in Arcana? To roll an Arcana.
I'm trained in nothing. I have half on everything.
Master of nothing.
11.
You are trained in some things.
Yeah, that's
11.
There is some sort of link between him and Crystal. We'll just go with that. Okay. So now at that was layer. Well, no, they get to act. That thing gets to act. So it shoots out with a ray of mana at you.
And your mana is restored. A blue 10.
14 versus your AC.
So that will match.
Tie. Tie means a hit on my end. So it is 7 electrical damage. Yep. All right. Then we're going at 19. It is your turn.
Okay. And so he had motion for the red crystal golem, or stained glass golem, or was it the other one?
Yeah, he motioned at the right one.
Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do then, at this point, I'm going to run up, trying to steer just a little bit clear of that crystal so I don't touch it. And
You can basically run right underneath it.
oh, okay. So I'm going to run
Yeah,
up
you're
to
You're very small.
the wizard.
Okay.
Yep. And so at this point, I'm going to attack him to try and interrupt him from doing his thing.
Okay.
Alright, 1 second.
He still has shield cast upon himself.
Alright. So what I end up doing is I'm going to use one of my key to...
To react. Does it last for the round or only against the triggering attack?
You went before him, so it reset.
So I'm going to use one of my keys so I can do a flurry of blows against him. And so the first attack I'm actually going to hit, my regular attack is going to be with my short sword, my wakizashi.
Yep.
And as I draw the sword, I'm doing an arcane motion, and I'm going to yell, "Rising Crescent!"
Rising Crescent.
Natural 20.
Hold on. Using the critical hit dex, that means he gets to use the critical hit dex.
Oh, fun!
Nope. I just gotta make sure I grab the right one.
That guy doesn't need to be blessed.
Alright, so draw one of those. It will be the top one.
Okay. The top option says knave to chops, double damage.
Okay, so that's normal crit then.
So normal crit. Okay. And so then, because of the flurry of blows, I'm going to get 2 unarmed attacks. Do you want me to resolve the damage from the first one?
No,
or-
go ahead and do your other attacks.
Okay. So then the second attack is going to be an unarmed one, and basically what I'm doing is I'm using my elbow to kind of hit his knee to kind of weaken him. And that is a 9. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to be shouting, "Crouching Tiger Swipe!" And I roll the d4 to add on to that. Just
Yeah, you get your bless.
4. So 4 and 9, 13. Does that hit?
13 does not hit.
And so it just kind of
Yep.
does that. But then I have one more because
Yep.
the flurry close.
And
And
that'll be a hit.
that one's just,
Yeah.
So 15 with that. And for that one, going to try and knee him in the shins. And going to go with Mungo Kick.
Mungo.
All right.
And
So you crit on him with your Wakazashi, and you hit him with your Mungo kick.
Mungo kick.
I said mountain goat, but yeah.
Mountain goat.
Oh,
Oh, I like
Mungo.
Mountain Goat even better. I thought you said Mungo.
No.
I think you said
That's
Mungo
what I
too.
heard too. in a second.
All right.
Mountain Goat.
So for the Wakazashi, now does the plus damage on that get doubled as well?
No.
No.
So just a dice.
So
You roll the dice twice. Yep.
4 plus 2. So that does 6 damage.
That is a weak crit. All right.
And then the unarmed one, that is going to be. That one's not a crit. So.
Okay. On deck is Jeff.
Alright. So that is going to be 3 damage for the mountain goat.
Anything else? Yeah, that's
And-
everything, right?
So then, because I used an unarmed strike while holding my weapon,
Mhm.
I get +2 AC into the next my next turn
Yep.
because of agile carry.
Yep. Sir.
What action is it to grab another crystal?
You can grab one for free world interaction.
Okay. I'm going to do a couple things here then. So, first thing, I'm going to. You're going to hear him.
When you healed yourself with healing word,
Yeah.
Did you add your extra?
I did.
You extra D4? You
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, believe me, I didn't forget that one. I will remember that one. I have a feeling it's going to come back and bite me later. But
So you grab another crystal.
Well, not yet, no. First thing, because I'm backing up away from this thing.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And as I'm backing away from this thing, it doesn't attack me.
You were already backed away from it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm kind of back, keeping my eye on it. That's
Yep.
kind of why I figured I
It's
was.
around the It's around
Yeah.
the corner.
That's why I figured I was slower than everyone else,
Yep.
because I was just kind of like, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. But then I see crap is starting to happen.
Yep.
Right? So he kind of like, he looks over at the crystal and he looks at his companions. He's looking at the, and then he pulls out. He pulls out a fiddle,
Mhm.
and he starts playing.
Mhm.
And as he starts playing, there's something happens around him. Okay, it's like he is also. You said there's like this green mist coming out of this thing. Is that what you said?
Well, it's a mist, but it's like it's the color of the crystals. It's
Okay,
like-
okay.
It's blue
So-
with a hint of purple.
What color was the crystal that I touched the first time?
They're all shades of blue.
They're all shades of blue. Okay. Can this one be tealish?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you see this tealish kind of mist coming off of him, and all of a sudden his features not as impressive as the guy,
Mhm.
like as he's, but you kind of see his appearance change as well. Smoother skin, hair a little bit suddenly
Lush.
lush, and suddenly into place. Like he would, and he starts looking really nice, and he starts singing this song for everyone, and everyone feels pretty inspired and awesome, and gets 5 temporary hit points. Well, no, you get 5 temporary hit points. You're gonna get 5 temporary hit points, and you're the healer, right?
Mhm.
And you know what? He's gonna give himself 5 temporary hit points.
Poor Nate over there.
Oh wait, you got hit.
No.
No, he got hit. Okay, because you're not taking. Those two took damage, and I took damage. So,
Right.
So you get 5 temporary hit points, and everyone can move.
And the people that get the temporary hit points.
Yep. The people who get temporary hit points can move if they want to.
Yeah.
They can move 30 places without provoking an attack or whatever. So you can move away from the fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna move away from the fire.
And and then I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that was a bonus action because something happens when he touches it, right?
Are you? Yeah. So you're touching it then?
Yeah, I'm grabbing another one.
All right. 8 damage.
Okay.
And
So it uses up my temporary
Yep. Plus some.
plus 3. Yeah.
So I can make that movement now.
Yeah, you can move.
And in addition, you get another +1 to hit and damage, and another die on
My head's gonna explode, probably, from taking all this magic stuff. Guys, touch the crystals! It's awesome!
You don't make smart decisions, do you?
Yeah, and then he healing words the crap out of you. And you're
where
like,
do you wanna go?
whoa,
I want to put
how'd you
myself a
do
little bit
that?
closer towards the crystal golem, so on that side. So not like
Oh.
over. There you go.
Just for the record, he
Man.
literally,
back one word would be perfect.
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
literally,
I'm short enough.
he literally yells out,
So-
"Guys, touch the crystals!"
So it's a bonus action to do your glamour thing. It's free world action and touch the crystal.
No,
So
it
you have
was a
standard.
full action to do the mantle of inspiration.
It's a bonus.
Oh, it is a bonus action.
Trust me, I played a glamour bar before. It's a
Good
bonus
grief,
action.
it
Also,
is.
Just
Well,
a
then I
side
have a-
note, I don't think you can do it to yourself, but
I have a full action. Oh, I can't do it to myself. If I don't do it to myself, then I'll do it to him.
yeah.
Okay. I can't do it to myself, then I take another 5.
It's kind of like your bardic inspiration. You can't give it to yourself.
You
So you
can't
can give
inspire
it to other
yourself.
people.
Yeah. Well, then I'm going to healing word myself again.
Okay. 3d4s. Okay. Well, we'll
'Cause I'm
move on.
about dead.
It is initiative 10 turn, and that's Nate's, but also the stained glass golems. And so I'm going to choose the stained glass golems to go first.
Okay.
Okay. So this is going to go around the corner. And this is going to go right here. And so stained glass golems, B, Nate, and what was it, Elrindel?
Yes.
And okay, sorry, we're back. A little snafu. I rolled a versus Gideon.
A 19?
A 19 AC.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So the damage is 8 damage to you, and as it slices down with it, you can tell that the makeup of this thing is very crude, and it leaves a bunch of stained glass in you.
Ow!
Also reducing the hit points of the golem, because the golem takes also. Okay. And then we're doing the same thing to the wizard over there.
Hey.
And I got a 10 AC versus you. You dodge definitely out of the way unless you suck at character creation.
No.
All right.
Nice.
Otherwise, it is your turn, sir.
Okay. So,
Oh, how does he feel?
confused, a little bit panicked,
Hurt?
a little bit.
Does he shed a tear?
No, but he's kind of thinking of chucking a spell at the crystal because doesn't want to hurt his mentor, and
And you said
Considering-
my idea of blowing up the crystal was a bad idea. Let's.
yeah, but now it's my idea, so it's good.
Oh.
So, does he think that chucking? Does he know? Does the situation seem bad enough that throwing something at the crystal?
You.
Mhm.
You're the
Alright.
one. You're the one who did the Arcana check,
Yeah,
right?
let's roll with it. He's a little bit panicked. He wants to save everyone and his mentor, and the crystal seems like the nexus of
What about it?
all this. And,
I'm right under it.
he's going to chuck Arendel's multifaceted sphere, which is basically a chromatic sphere, at it for
Look at
thunder
his
damage.
face.
He's got a spell named after him.
Yes.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Arendel's multifaceted sphere.
It's pretty sweet.
When you're the second most powerful wizard,
You
spell
get
name.
named. Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
So,
Attack roll.
disadvantage because I got a dude next to me, or
Actually, it's a stationary object, so we'll just say it's a push.
cool. 19 to hit
Yep.
for 16. Yeah, 16 force damage.
He just closed all the books.
Good night, everybody.
Okay. You cast a spell upon the crystal. The crystal instantly begins to crack, shatter, and break apart. The top of the tower is completely blown off from the force. All of you are blown to the ground. The crystal the stained glass golems shatter against the wall as all of you are forced back with this incredible arcane energy.
Are we? Oh, I'm sorry.
You can feel yourselves at the molecular level disintegrate.
Oh! So I don't accidentally bump another crystal?
Yes.
As you can feel your bodies go into nothingness, you look up and you can see that the crystal breaks into multiple shards and split into many different directions. 5 directions, in fact.
Oh.
One of them straight into Nathan. Bursts him right into the chest.
Hey, he'll be fine.
But we've all disintegrated.
He's gonna be awesome.
Walk it off.
He's gonna be awesome now.
The other parts fly off from the tower. The roof of the tower long since sprayed the surrounding forest.
So we're in basically black nothingness?
Abbott, you hear a voice.
It's a familiar one, isn't it?
It is familiar,
Oh.
and this is the first time you've heard it so strong. You've heard it before. Often, it takes so many prayers to have that voice being heard. But this time, it's speaking directly to you. And it says, I have shielded you from this. I have tried to save you and your companions, but there's only so much that I can do. The world will forever be changed. You will not come out unharmed, but I will try to give you my blessings. You wake up. You look around. You can see them sprawled in agony, but alive. You are different. You can feel the difference. You are now.
A new character sheet.
Yeah. You are now. Each and every one of you has been affected in one way or another. You are all coming to, racked in pain. You look to her. She doesn't look the same. He doesn't look the same. Sorry.
Abbott!
Abbott, you want to describe, you were human before, right? Not now.
So I'm glowing, like crazy glowing, and from what you can see of my arms and probably some down my neck, there's these super bright tattoos that are just winding their way down. I don't know how else would you describe it as?
You're a siren from Borderlands?
Glowing.
Yeah, glowing.
Glowing from everywhere.
Hair's just going
Celestial radiance.
Your hair is constantly just kind of flowing from wind that's not seen, and your eyes have no irises but glow of the color of your choosing.
Figure that out. Okay.
Does anybody else have any major visual changes that happen right now? There's one visual change to you.
Yeah.
For sure. You have a gigantic crystal embedded in your chest.
That'll buff out.
One of those shards of that crystal had struck you, and you're not sure how, but it's going straight through your heart, but you're still alive.
Iron Man.
Sorry.
Any other visual change?
Yes. Shorter, darker, and the sunlight hurts now.
Oh.
So you have silver hair.
Yep.
Oh.
What color skin?
Kind of a murky gray, I think.
Murky gray?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I need my resolution. It's morning. At least you believe it's morning.
Yeah.
You are recovering. You don't see the Grand Arcanist anywhere.
Are we all still on the top floor?
You
of the
are all
tower?
still on the top floor.
Cool. We blew up the tower.
As you stand up, it's odd. You have a layer of dust. A few leaves that have that you're brushing off from yourselves.
Not like dust from an explosion, but dust from
Yeah,
maybe dust from an explosion.
maybe.
Okay.
The top of the tower is completely blown off. You can see the sky.
Do we see the corpse of the Archmage?
You don't see the corpse of an Archmage, but you see this weird winged creature with a spiked tail flying off in the distance. That was no bird. Whatever that was huge, and that was way off over to the east.
Not a bard either.
No, that was no bard. Flying through the air.
I'd like to look around and see if I see any of the other crystals that had been there.
All the other crystals that were on the table were gone. If you stand over the table, you can the wall. You can see that's weird. You see giant moths, probably 6 or 7 feet wingspans, flying above the forest. You look to your west. You see a gigantic anthill peeking above the forest. Ants working their way in. These ants larger than you. You see, as you guys kind of look around, you see to the south, the forest completely covered in webs.
In webs.
Webs. Gigantic spider webs. And you can swear you've seen things moving, unnatural things.
So all the insects got bigger.
Can we see the village that we stopped at?
Yeah. Harmony. Just off to the east.
Okay.
Very odd. Doesn't look the same at all. Where there once were Tudor houses, there are tents, mud huts, very crude. You can see stone foundations and tents or leather awning set up above.
I personally didn't have a lot of No, I had one reflector made.
You hear a clink coming from the floor below you.
The bard is speechless on purpose. You're not used to that. He's just taking it all in. In fact, he actually is about to. He tries to start saying something about 3 times.
You hear a slam, like somebody dropping a pot or a pan on the floor in the kitchen.
I'm blind with a hole in my chest.
So there was dust on us.
You don't get to
I
touch
wanna
this one.
Get up and walk over to some of the tables. Is there dust on top of the
I'll
tables?
come over and check it out.
How much dust?
I kind of snidely comment to the bar that this is not, in fact, awesome.
Dust, some pollen, some leaves.
Is all of the stuff that was in here still in here?
Most of it is gone. There's bits and bobs, a couple apparatuses, tools that are strewn along the floor. They weren't on. Once they were on the tables, but that probably blew off during that explosion.
Bookshelves empty, no sign of books to be seen.
Bookshelves.
Are there any books left?
You take a roll of investigation.
Do you feel stronger? Ouch.
It's a 14.
Alive?
17.
Which,
You're looking,
maybe?
and you do find a book, and as you pick it up, it starts to fall apart. You open it up, and a musty smell as the pages
Okay, so we're in the future.
deteriorate.
Huh.
That makes sense.
Which future?
That's a really good question.
The awful kind.
I
Can-
don't know.
Have you ever?
Surgery, maybe?
We got those first aid kits, right?
So
That's not gonna be enough.
I'm going to kind of put my hand on it,
Okay.
investigate around it, and see.
Roll of medicine.
This is how it goes out.
You okay over there?
I'm still
16.
kind of taking a look around.
He is very much Tony Stark. You remove that, you kill him.
You think permanent?
You hear another slam, like somebody knocked something over downstairs.
Are we in danger?
I'm gonna go towards the stairs.
I'm gonna go take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By yourself?
You
You're
go
good?
upstairs.
I'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm really sneaky. People don't realize that about me. It's fine.
So your floor was the third floor.
Yes.
The fourth floor was mostly storage for
Thank
the
you.
workshop. So
That's 6.
it was all the stuff that he wasn't working on at the time was stored down here. You go down and you
I'm stealthing, by the way.
roll a stealth. Please.
Cool.
I inspired her. Because I'm like, are you going to go by yourself? Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I have the phrase that suddenly my voice gets a little bit deeper, and he starts speaking from the back, like, go quickly.
So as you what do you get for stealth?
Modified 20.
As you go down the stairs, you look into the room. The door, long since knocked off its hinges, and you can see that there is a small man your size, right? You're a halfling.
I'm a halfling.
Your size, wearing a brown tunic, green pants, breeches, and natty black hair, green skin, pointed ears, and long nose. And it's digging through, it's looking at things, and tossing it to the side. It picks up a plate, and then it speaks. What languages do you know?
Not goblin, if that's what you're asking.
What's a goblin? What language do you speak?
Common Gnomish.
It speaks gnome. He says, "Well, that's an old plate. I'll take it." And he puts it into a sack.
It's nice when these guys talk to themselves.
So
I'm going to make my way around behind him and like get between him and the door and continue to observe.
He goes over and there's a crate, takes out a crowbar. He says, "I wish it wasn't a gnome." As he's prying the top of the crate off.
So that I can help in it.
The rest of you are making...
Did you say he was green?
Yeah.
Okay. He called himself a gnome. Okay. I mean, I know this, but I was just making sure Jeff heard you clearly. Okay. So, like, you said these things were kind of like see-through, right?
Crystals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, I can see the cracks, right?
Yeah.
So,
You're trying to get the angle to
I'm
see
like-
my heart.
yeah, I'm like,
Oh, you can see it beating around it. Very clearly.
whoa. I'm just fascinated.
And you can see that there's like his heart is completely pierced by the crystal. And the crystal is like strands of arcane energies obviously going into his body.
Are you sure you don't feel more powerful? Because I'm telling you, like, every time I touch one of those things, man, I know it hurts. Maybe not like that, but...
So he continues, he opens up the crate and he says, it's long rotted away. He reaches his hands in and there's some silk that just disintegrates as he touches it. It's like, maybe there's some gold buttons in here or something. And he kind of leans up and then scoops down and he says, yeah, I found one. That'll fetch at the market.
Can we see each other? Like, you stealth as well, right?
Yeah.
you didn't have your roll.
Roll your stuff.
All right.
You're a little bit behind.
So I would get 13.
Okay. Yeah. So you're just behind her. He's loud, but no.
Question mark.
Doesn't seem to notice.
And at this,
He's speaking, and you don't understand the language at all. Right? But you heard the language before.
Yeah. Would I be able to connotate?
hand gestures.
Can I make the connotation between the language he's spoken and his race?
Roll a history.
Natural 20.
Yes, that's Gnomish. You don't know the language. You
But I can
you
recognize
recognize like a couple of the common words here and there, and you're like, yeah, that's obviously Gnomish.
Mm.
And fluent too, like perfect dialects.
So at this point, I'm motioning that I'm going to move closer towards the gnome and ready my weapon since I don't know what he's going to do. So I just, hear that little ever so slight click of the lifting the hilt. And as I get closer towards him, I say, "Hail, friend."
He turns around and he's shocked. He's like, I didn't think there was anybody else in here.
I
And he's scared. Like he's shivering. He's like, what are you things?
Now, is he saying that in Gnomish?
He's saying that in common.
In common.
Oh, he sees me now too?
You can choose to be revealed. What are you?
I will choose to be revealed.
Yeah.
The gnome and the halfling are things now.
Things?
So
You say things? Question mark?
Things?
Oh, what kind of hideous creatures are you?
I look at him and I say, "You speak Gnomish, but you look like no gnome I know."
I'm the gnomiest gnome you've ever seen.
Like, gnomes aren't green, friend.
Okay, I don't know who you are, what you are, but gnomes are very much different shades of green, sir.
What about halflings? What color are halflings?
Halflings, their scales are like reds and browns.
I just kind of look at her and say, "Scales, huh?"
I'm tearing up a little bit. Scales!
What else? And they yap too much too.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed.
So,
But seriously, what are you?
Visitors.
From another plane? I hear they have those.
plane.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that. What are you doing here?
He says, you're not going to kill me.
Well, depends on what you're doing.
Well, I've never seen such monstrous beasts as you, and I'm just hoping that you are friendly.
You keep using the word monstrous. You should probably stop that.
Especially if you want us to react friendly. Maybe stop calling people
I'm not the ugly
monsters.
one.
Well, have you ever considered that maybe to us you're the ugly one?
You guys can hear this conversation going
Oh,
on.
we
yeah.
hear this. Oh, okay. I'm just looking.
I'll
Are there more of
go start investigating.
you nearby?
Huh?
Are there more of you nearby?
You two are.
Why wouldn't there be? Yeah.
I'm
Down in Harm?
In what?
Harm?
Harm? Wow. Okay.
I just keep asking, like, are you sure? Try casting a spell.
So at this point, I ask him,
Time and a place.
"What's the date?"
Texas. Played your first games, Raiders and
Do you?
I think it's 321 AC.
321 AC.
That means nothing to you. You were like a 1600s or something like that.
What does the AC stand for?
After Cataclysm.
Nice.
What was the cataclysm?
What was the Cataclysm? Oh, man.
Like you said, we're from a different plane.
Well, everybody's heard of the Cataclysm.
Have they?
Ever?
Are you sure?
Well, okay, I guess monstrous, ugly beasts like yourself haven't heard of the Cataclysm.
I'd like like to.
At what
Follow
point?
noise.
Yeah. At what point do we show up in all this?
Whenever you want.
Okay.
You've heard him for a while. This conversation.
I think, yeah, we'd probably finally be curious enough. I've made
I'm
peace
curious
with
about
this.
one thing right now.
So you guys come down, right? He's like, well, at least I recognize the elf.
Congratulations.
But whatever you guys are,
What was the cataclysm?
it was when magic returned to the world.
Magic.
Yeah, and the Grand Arcana saved us all.
Did he now?
How did he save? How did he save us all?
Well, great beasts started roaming the world and started slaughtering everybody. And there's only the Grand Arcanist that could do anything about it. You don't remember that? That was years ago. I mean, you should. You're an elf.
Preoccupied with a medical situation.
How far does it stick out?
Are we talking
just a little bit?
shrapnel or?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Think Iron Man. And he says, "Oh my God, you are special.
Sure.
I am surprised that you're not 40, 50 feet tall with one that size."
Is that normal for people to grow that tall?
Is it normal?
With one of those, yeah.
Is it normal for people to have them embedded in their chest?
Chest, head, arm, feet.
And this happened with the cataclysm?
Sounds like you
Or
got lucky, man.
recently.
I don't know.
Like, do people just randomly start stabbing themselves with crystals?
I mean, there's some out there that, yeah, sure, yeah.
Insight? Is he?
Rolling it.
Okay.
Well,
Natural 20. I love you.
He's completely truthful. He's like, yeah, it's totally. People stab themselves with crystals all the time.
Yeah, those crystals are awesome.
are there?
Huh? It's more like insert the crystal under the skin.
Yeah.
I'm surprised though.
Are there?
I mean, you should be growing like 5 heads, scales, start
See?
breathing fire.
See, you're supposed to be more powerful. I knew it.
How
I'm still blaming
accessible
this
are
on
these
you.
crystals?
This is still your fault.
they're
You should be thanking.
rare-ish. I mean,
Where do people get them from?
usually from the monsters that are roaming the land.
Are they embedded in the monsters?
Yeah.
Which is why the monsters are big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful of the panthers around here. They're a doozy. If you're lucky, you'll only come across the one that's 3 or 4 feet tall. If you're unlucky, you'll find one that's the size of a tall tree.
Panther's the size of a tall tree.
Yeah.
Never mind.
How do you survive?
Maybe not as cool.
I mean, magic calls.
You can do magic too?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What can you do?
He snaps his finger, and poof, you don't see him.
Great. I'm gonna grab where he was.
He says, "Hey now," and you grab a knot of his hair.
I just wanted to make sure he was still here.
Gideon is instantly disappointed because the thing that made him cool and special is not special anymore. Everyone can do magic?
Oh no, not everyone. There's those that are cursed that cannot have magic. I mean, that's
Okay.
How are they cursed?
the Grand Arcanist wills them to not have magic.
So the Grand Arcanist is still around.
I bought these
Still,
after.
what do you mean?
Well, you said it's been 321 years since the cataclysm.
I think.
I'm like, I didn't like the alarm.
Yeah, I think that should be 321.
So
I don't know.
he's at least 300 years old.
I guess so are we now, right?
The Grand Arcanist doesn't care about age.
Okay, cool. Where can we find him?
Just go to Crasdale.
Can you repeat that?
Crasdale?
Crasdale?
Yeah.
Crasdale.
That's the name of the city that you
He's just Mr.
We're not from
Fancy.
around here. Yeah. Is there? Do you have? Where could we? You know, is there a map we can get our hands on, or?
Map? Why would you need a map? Just divine your way around.
Just
That's what the rest of us do.
sure. Yeah. Let's just divine our way. My bad.
So at this point, I look at him and say, "So, everyone just divines the way around. What are your plans for the foreseeable future?"
I still have a hold of his hair, by the way.
He says, "Well, I'm gonna get away from you guys because everybody knows that elves are ruthless murderers. Okay, and then you guys are obviously some sort of crazy beasts.
It's really insulting. You're hurting my feelings.
Did he act like he knew what she was?
Yeah, he has no idea.
Okay.
Nope.
Because currently she looks like me though, or is she constantly in that form now?
Yeah, she's constantly in that form.
Very.
Me?
It's not just when she uses the fun things.
Yeah, she's full glowy.
Does
Nice.
he have any reaction to me at all? Like
Yeah, you're lumped into them.
oh, always lumped in.
Yeah.
Gideon's jealous
They
again.
call him Abbott, lumped in, always. Something weird last name.
Glow all the time.
So at this point, I say, "You should come with us because you keep speaking of
tried.
everyone being able to do
I
discrimination, but I don't think everyone from where we're from can."
Oh, some are better than others. But I don't think so.
Well, you are stealing, so that's a very nice thing. You should.
Stealing. This place is abandoned.
Do you know who used to live here?
The Grand Arcanist. You're stealing from him.
He looks up to the sky and he says, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize."
So you should help us find him so you can return what you stole.
And
Well,
apologize.
then he takes his bag and just dumps it out. Clink, clink, clink. A bunch of things fall onto the floor. He says, "I did not steal from the Grand Arcanist. This is not happening today.
Isn't it, friend? It looks like it is.
I don't know what you are, but stop calling me friend."
Smallest monster gets offended when we call him friend.
Gideon has now something broke his distraction, right? So he wants to. He's catching on to what you're doing, right? And so he's like, "Well, tell you what. Before we let you go, I have a story to tell you." Okay. And I'm going to turn on, my normal effects that, and so for about a minute, he's going to tell this epic story of 5 great adventurers.
Yep.
And I'm just basically going to make up the story of everything that we went through.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm going to tell him that story.
Yeah.
Okay. I need him to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
Okay. So now he's charmed.
Yep.
He's very. And so I just kind of look at you
He
and
says,
say,
"Well, your story doesn't check out though."
how does it not check out, friend?
Well, the Grand Arcanist defeated the evil ambushers that decided to destroy the mana crystal, and then he went to the ley line and protected all of humanity. And it was the adventure. It was the people that ambushed him that were evil. It was their fault that the mana crystal was broken. Everybody knows that.
He's the one with
What does the
crystals.
story say about the king at the time?
The king was cruel and ruthless. Enslaved an elvish wife. Forced her to consummate the marriage, bearing a bastard half-elf child.
I take it half elves are really ugly around here.
Yeah, they breathe fire.
Nice.
Fire.
Okay.
Terrifying.
I don't know why they call them half elves. They're nothing like elves, and they're nothing like humans. But
Well, talk to me about humans.
what do you want to know?
Well, what do they look like? What do they?
You know what? They're pretty much bigger versions of me. Green,
Yeah.
black hair.
Okay. Did my disguise kit like last through? And how much green do I have?
You can go outside and rub some grass on
Right.
yourself.
Oh,
Roll in the grass for a couple
man.
minutes, you'll be good.
No, humans are green now. Well. Okay. So
So you guys are planar travelers.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go with that, yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Planar travelers.
See, in our
We come in
plane-
peace. You know, we come because we have, you know, great knowledge we'd love to share. You know, I mean,
Well, you should truly go through the Grand Arcana. You love knowledge.
Well, we need to be able
It
to
sounds
find
like
them,
it.
so. Yes.
you know,
So why don't you take us there?
You will
Sure.
be so happy
I
to know that
I would
about
be
this.
more than happy.
okay.
And
What's
after
your
1
name,
hour,
by the
whatever
way?
it is.
I just roll with advantage
What's his
on.
name?
His name
Don't be
is
worried.
Tadnet.
They're just the manacles of
Tadnet?
safety.
Tadnet.
Tadnet.
Be fine.
She has manacles of safety.
I'll just kind of like, well, he's like all on board, like, yeah. And where we come from, it's the trend. I'm like, it's gonna sound funny, but it's the trend to wear these fancy bracelets.
Friendship race.
Sure.
We are so
Sure.
good.
Ugly spacefaring creature.
Planer.
Does it?
Oh yeah, sure.
At some point, he does come up and he's like waiting to see if it
Space,
hurts to
that's
be
the same
close
thing to him.
right? Like,
Is it? Does like do I radiate like extra warmth?
because she looks like,
That's up to you.
Yeah.
but it doesn't hurt.
No.
Okay.
It's almost it's warm.
She hasn't figured it out yet. It's annoying to sleep though.
You're always sweating.
You close your eyelids and your eyelids are just glowing.
I feel like I'm probably comfortable.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So
Okay.
he's like, yeah, sure, put him on.
Like,
Good
Yeah.
man. I'll just keep telling them stories.
Okay.
I'll just start making up
And,
stuff.
and a lot of the times when you're recounting actual stories, it's like, that's not how it happened. All right.
Well, I'm trying to catch on to the changes
Yeah.
by doing
a
that.
lot of changes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of this conversation is while he's friendly towards us, like
Roll
I'm
an
just
investigation check.
can I assist with this?
Sure.
Okay.
You,
So-
you have advantage then.
all right. You're fact checking me. So, investigation. You don't want
I'm
me
a
rolling
researcher, that's what I
investigation.
do.
Yeah. So my investigation. Oh, okay. 12.
Go get one fact out of it. There
Okay.
was a Great War that happened, and
Between-
during that Great War, there were gigantic constructs that were created by the Grand Arcana. They walked the land, and that war was against the half-elven prince who had deemed himself king wrongly. And a lad, a troop of fire-breathing eagles broke away.
I'm curious, what do like half orcs look like?
There weren't half-orcs.
Yeah, because you'd have to be part human to be part half orc. Yeah. There weren't orcs before. Yeah. And now there
What
wouldn't.
about dwarves?
Unless I hook up with orc. I could
Dwarves
make
have
first.
black skin and white and red beards.
You're still there?
That's all I
I just.
I
didn't want to
4
change.
feet tall, 4 feet.
Apparently not changing.
But they can make themselves really big.
Really weird.
Just like anytime they want.
Yes.
Interesting. What dwarves look like?
Okay.
So at this point, I say, well, we should probably be getting on our way because I imagine it's.
Yeah, the Grand Arcana is it's like 30 miles from here, so we'll get there by tomorrow morning if we leave now.
Can we have him kind of describe the route while he's charmed?
Yeah, he describes it. It's exactly the same.
Okay.
Okay.
The same
So we'd be able to find it
Yeah.
without him.
Because you know the land.
Yeah.
I know that after a while this is gonna wear off, and I'm kind of like, if he comes out of this wearing shackles, he might be really upset. I have a question for you as the DM, because when it's the charm person spell, when they come out of it, they know they were charmed, right? But it doesn't say that about this enthralling performance or whatever.
So, enthralling performance, I think it's 10 minutes long you have to do it, by the way, not a minute. Yeah. And,
It was a long story then.
yeah.
Major embellishment.
No, I played a glamour board part. So,
Yeah.
it does not explicitly say, however, there are actions during or
Oh, it's 1 minute. Enthralling performance.
1 minute.
Yep.
Oh, how is it? Is 10 minutes. Oh, maybe that's pre-nerf. They nerfed the class when I played it out of Arcana.
It's on. Oh yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, I mean, it's pretty obvious to put it in manacles and stuff. So.
Yeah, well, I just kind of encourage him, like, okay, so is our plan to take him with us, or are we gonna let him go? Because I mean, if he served his purpose, I say let's let him go.
It looks bad if we've got a prisoner, but we do kind of need a guide.
Well, we know the way though, because based on what he tells us.
Yeah.
Just
so
don't know
Okay.
what's
It's-
changed along the way.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll Les, okay, I was like, we saw big ants up there. Are we gonna run into those on the way? Like, what about?
Oh no, that's only that direction. You know,
What's that direction then?
Like he points towards the ant hills. He's like, you don't need to worry about the ants. They're all.
What about the panthers you mentioned? Is that
Oh, the panthers! You don't want to get caught in their tentacles. So
panther tentacle?
they're all around the forest. We might run across them.
Panther tentacles.
Yes.
Like from an octopus?
No. Octopuses. Ooh, you don't want to get near one of them. But no tentacles involved. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, let's keep him shackled. It's just going to be hard to figure out all this kind of stuff then, yeah.
It's the horns, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely the horns.
Like the 3 windy metal, like things.
Sorry, I know what she's saying. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She's trying so hard.
Stretching.
She's trying so hard. Did we explain to the listeners how your inspiration works?
No,
We did.
okay.
Do you want me to explain?
We'll talk about it
next time. Next time we'll explain how inspiration works.
with the little metal legs.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Kind of shaped like a potato.
Yes. Yes, exactly right.
Amazing!
That's octopuses for
Maybe
sure.
a satellite dish coming out of its head.
Because look at that thing.
You know, he talked about big constructs roaming the land.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
Good job.
You made it. You made it
With
fit.
45 minutes.
I know. I'm gonna cherish this for the next 45 minutes.
What? Wait. When do we have to be done?
Well, we should really be wrapping up in the next like
Okay.
10, 15.
Okay.
At 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30.
Quick, we gotta do something where we can use our inspiration.
So since we're leaving the tower behind.
Random encounter.
You could have turned that in a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about it, but then he did his thing, and I'm like, I don't want to do it right now.
Oh,
He
you
also
should.
did that.
You
Yeah, you
should.
should've.
Don't hesitate on getting your dice. Wow.
Yeah, don't hesitate. All right.
Wow.
So,
So, like, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How does this buffed up power affect, like, Does it change my prestidigitation at all?
Oh, that's gone.
Prestidigitation?
No,
No,
the buff.
extra power.
Ah!
That's worn off of you by now.
Poop!
At least like.
I have it written down the
2
last
years.
A minute?
1 minute.
I guess we're a
I thought I was gonna
smidge
have
past
this
that.
for forever, man.
Just slowly roiding up.
Mute your glow.
I was just like,
Down. Probably would have started.
this is awesome.
Fashion
Okay.
myself some
Yeah.
shades.
Gosh, dang it.
Gotta wear shades.
Okay, well,
Okay,
so-
I start messing with my sparks. And I'm like, you really don't feel more powerful? And I'm like,
Do
I'll try to cast the spell.
yeah,
Are we just gonna surge it?
you're just gonna wild surge it right
I
now.
don't have.
Oh, I have
anything on me.
I have D10,000 dice at home. I didn't remember to bring them.
Yeah.
You just want
We'll start with that.
Do you want a
Actually.
percentile?
Okay.
do Felric, right?
Yep.
Do Felric and I feel any different from the explosion or anything? We're just
Nope.
Just hurt.
You just
okay.
You were shielded by
Something.
a god. She knows that.
Mhm.
Only could shield this guy so much.
Yeah. I'm going to attempt, like, the spell I'm going to attempt at him is just a
At
harmless
me?
message.
oh, at me. Okay, yeah, sure. A harmless message?
Yeah, just attempting to communicate,
You didn't change it. You didn't change it.
When we would use the
attempting to
10,000,
communicate annoying.
we would just roll 4d10s.
I have D10,000 dice. Well, I don't want to. We don't have time to pull out.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to start with that next.
I say I have it.
So you have it pulled up right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then do it.
I
So
didn't grab any tens.
So you just wanna.
4,819.
What is it?
4,819.
4,819?
Yep.
Okay, it's a ways down there. It's a lot. 4,000. 4,000.
I'm assuming the crystal kind of
800.
sparks or
Yeah, absolutely does.
Do you want me to give this to you and you tell what happens?
Yeah, good.
Sure.
800.
Give it to me, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Yep. Here, I'm trying to highlight it.
You don't need to highlight it. I can read. Unlike you.
That's right.
Okay. 4,819.
19.
I didn't look at it, so I literally have no idea what's about to happen to me.
So he casts message on you, right?
So he points his finger at me and he's like,
And you just take your dagger
yeah?
and go. You slit your own throat. What else do you guys do? We are in little mini rounds while he starts to bleed out.
What? You're gonna immediately go over and start.
Oh my gosh.
Spare the dying. No, wait. No, death wards.
No.
Spread the die. Okay, spread the die.
Yes.
Okay. So the bleeding stops.
I'm on the ground and.
And as that, like, you can,
That
as
was-
he casts a spell, like, the crystal in his chest glows and starts to like, arcane energy kind of, like, festers around the basically wound in his chest.
So it's obvious that he did something.
Well, he casts message, which is a normal spell for him.
Yeah.
And I just reach and I like go dead in the face and just go.
Yep.
What do?
What did you do?
I mean, I always wish something like that would happen, but I didn't. I was trying to tell him to shut up. Apparently, he took it a little literally.
I'm on the ground. And
Yeah,
knocked
you're
out.
unconscious.
I rolled a d4
For what?
because it's how many hours until I wake
Oh, yeah.
up.
Okay.
So it's 2.
All right.
I told you were more powerful.
Okay, apparently I am more powerful.
He told me to shut up, and I did.
Maybe phrase it better next time?
The gnome says, "Elf. That's how elves are. we got to get away from this guy.
I love how the next time we face someone bad, you're going to be like, shut up. And thinking it's going to cut his own throat. Because that's what we all think happens now.
Yeah.
So now I have a cool
And then
scar.
it's gonna turn into a flower pot or something.
All right. So
Wow.
Your voice goes from angelic to like AC/DC.
Oh my gosh.
we're lingering. So what I think is gonna be the thing is that at this point you're gonna decide to leave the tower,
Yeah.
and on the way towards the Grand Arcana, so you're gonna make your way through Harm. So right now you're stepping out of the tower and into the woods, and I think that's where we're going to end it for the
Okay.
night.
Sounds fine.
Sounds good.
Well, that's where all this happens. Like, we're like about to go into the woods, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
after we recover you and whatnot.
however that looks.
Whatever time that takes.
You now mute.
I guess.
And the
All right.
The worst bard ever.
Well, that was the first session of
that was cool, man.
Dungeons and Dragons here at D6 Games. I think everybody is a little in shock with what happened, and obviously she's not a halfling. He's not a gnome. You're not human.
I shave my scales.
But we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat place.
Okay, we'll be playing Dungeon and Flying Eagles with fire that breathe fire.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So wait, what's the title?